Guitar Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take you for your money with every spring. And I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. Guitar Players Planet. 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 Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the lands of new. Oh, na 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 na.
Three, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 6 people.
Hey,
how's it going, everybody? What's going on?
Full house.
Keegan showed up literally like 2 seconds before I closed the Zoom meeting, and I told him to jump on over. So, and Dr. Sasse, if you wanted to load up a picture, I don't know if you saw for loading up pictures in the background.
Yes, I did, but for some reason, don't worry, it's not working. But it doesn't matter. It's fine. It's okay.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Don't worry.
So, hi everybody. How's it going? We are here with Dr. Christian Sasse from iTelescope. We got some really good stuff going on. I just want to put some stuff across the bottom before we get started. We have a lot of other stuff going on with AstroWorld as we go on, and just so everybody knows, we picked up our second sponsor tonight, and I just want to talk a little bit about that real quick. And I'm going to share my screen. Let's see, share screen 2. There we go. And so show on screen. There we go. So thank you, number one, to our Red Giant sponsor, Prima Luce Lab, who just was able to kind of come in, and we got some really, really cool stuff with Prima Luce Lab. And he's going to actually, Tom's going to come on and talk a little bit, well, not today, but he's going to talk about a really, really sick giveaway that's coming on. So get prepared for after AIC to kind of get rid of that. And also, thank you also to our main sequence level sponsor, Woodland Hills at telescopes.net. And if you would like to become a sponsor, please contact me at Dan at AstroWeb. We got a bunch of packages and all that kind of stuff with social media and everything. So thanks to all of our sponsors. We appreciate all the support. And I'm going to stop sharing that. There we go. So we got Dr. Christian Sasse here from iTelescope. I'm super excited. I'm knowing Dr. Sasse. Is it Sasse or Sasse?
Sasse. It's a German name, so it's okay.
Sasse. All right. Well, my grandmother's name was von Reitwiesner.
Okay.
So she was straight from Berlin. Met my grandfather in 1908, and yeah, she moved over here. And he was a serviceman in World War I. And they met each other and they became over here. So thank you for coming on. Appreciate it's awesome to have you.
Absolute pleasure, really. Thank you so much. Giving me the opportunity. It's very nice. Thank you.
No, and I don't know if you and I have spoken a little bit about AstroWorld and our Southern Sky Challenge, which we didn't we didn't push off as well as we thought we might have. But we're looking on doing it again because the Dragons of Ara are back. So
Yes.
so we're looking at doing that, and you and I got to talk offline and talk about getting that going together for 2022. But so yeah. So for those who, Dr. Sasse, I'd love me talking. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do? And a lot of people don't know, maybe don't know iTelescope. I find that hard to believe, but why don't you give a shout out to what's going on over there?
Well, okay. Thanks. First of all, Daniel, and thanks. And very nice to see all of you. I really appreciate it. So, first of all, I'm based out of Vancouver, Canada, right? So, I mean, now with all the COVID situation, the borders have become unusually tight, which is strange for an AstroWorld, right? Because we all have one common interest, which is astronomy, which is absolutely wonderful, really, and that's what brings us together. And this is the crazy thing about COVID, that actually COVID has enhanced remote astronomy more than it ever has before, because people can't get out of their homes, and very few people are lucky to be in remote places where they can, enjoy their backyard. I know very few people who have the luxury. It's getting more and more difficult, right? And the same was for me. I mean, I came to Canada in 2007. I lived all over the world in many countries. I was an electrical engineer before. I ran companies and so on. And in 2016, I decided to change my life, and I went into more social media, eagle photography. So I have a big Facebook page of 220,000 followers and so on.
Wow.
So I do a lot of that stuff. And then in 2017, I went to Australia for the first time, and I went there with a camping van, and it was fantastic. I'd really done, with telescopes, of course, I had some involvement before, but I'd never seen, except for other countries, I'd never seen a clear sky like I'd seen in Australia. I was completely flabbergasted. It's something that, well, I mean, many of you know, you share the same enthusiasm. It was incredible. I was in this beautiful Warren Park, and I saw kangaroos jumping around me, and I had this, the Milky Way was so bright, it was casting a shadow. I'd never seen anything like that before, especially on the beautiful southern sky, right? And I fell completely in love with this, and I thought, gosh, this is fantastic. And I took a few images, and I went back home, and I thought it was very nice, actually. And, and then I started playing around with the images, and I thought, gosh, the southern sky. I mean, if you think the northern sky is nice, go and look at the southern sky. I mean, really from an experience, of course, there are galaxies everywhere, we know that. But from a pure experience, the southern sky is absolutely unbeatable, right? And I started just projecting some images, and then I started playing with these stupid star trails. I'm not a big fan of star trails, actually, because they really mess up. It's kitsch for me. Sorry, but so I thought, this looks really ugly. You really messed up the whole picture. So I suddenly thought, take this nice picture that you've taken there, and just let's try and discretize. Put it into discrete steps. So you have this in the southern sky, the Milky Way. The center of the galaxy goes right across in winter. It's absolutely magnificent. And I thought, well, maybe we can get the motion somehow in one picture. So all I did was I just took discrete 1 hour sectors and put them on one. And I got a very nice fractal image. And I thought, wow, that must have been done many times. It's rather an obvious thing to do, right? And I knew that, I don't know if you heard of Brian Cox. He's a big guy on BBC, yep. Right? He's a magnificent communicator for science, and he'd just been at Sighting Spring a few weeks before, and I thought, you know what, he doesn't know me, but I will Twitter my picture to him, and off I went to bed, and I didn't think anything. Next morning I woke up, and Twitter went completely crazy. He completely, he shared that image everywhere, and I was surprised. And next thing National Geographic knocked on my door, the New York Times, and Nature. Even the Nature magazine came to me.
Wow.
And it was nothing special, really. It was just another way of doing things. And I was surprised that no one had done it like that. I mean, it's very easy to do. And then I thought, you know what, let's do this full time maybe. And so I started teaching in 2018 astrophotography at Sighting Spring, and iTelescope actually helped me to make it possible. And it was so enjoyable. I got a few people there, gave a class, and yeah, it went well. I was completely self-financed. I didn't get any help from iTelescope, and built that up. And it's one of the most beautiful places you can imagine, because usually when you have observatories, it's very different. But there you're in the middle of wildlife and so on. And for me, wildlife and astronomy is, daytime wildlife, evening astronomy is just a wonderful thing. Where else could you have something like that, right? And it was a complete success. And I was offered a job at iTelescope, and here I am. So that's a summary of my life, and it's ever then it's just so enjoyable, right? I love it. So
yeah, I mean it seems to work out well, and the amount of telescopes that you have all over the world now is just completely incredible, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, then of course we started building up the company quite a lot. So I worked very well with Brad Moore. He's really the brains behind the company. He's an Australian,
Okay.
and if you look back at the remote telescopes, I mean, they weren't very popular before because they were seen very much as there's the backyard astronomer. It's like the person who can fix his cars, right? And then the people who drive the cars or do something else, right? It's like two different worlds. And I never saw it as two different worlds. They're complementary. That's it. People should have their own telescopes. It's wonderful. You should have your backyard. Of course you should. I have two. I have my solar telescope, whatever. It's fun. You'll never replace the experience, of having something. At the same time, especially with COVID, as I mentioned before, it got so much worse and so much more difficult.
Yeah.
And so Brad and I started changing a lot in the company. We got better people on board. We started revising the telescopes, the whole system and everything. So, and we really got good people, and suddenly everything started taking off because we started working as a team. We got excellent people in there, and our members just started to explode within COVID. And it's really become a joy. It's really a community, and it's like many things. It's about the community and the things that members give to it, and that's where we are now, right? So
yeah. And how many members are part of iTelescope as of right now?
Oh, active members are about 1,200. About passive members about 29,000, right? So
Wow.
So it's huge. Well, our newsletters goes out to about 29,000, and people come. It's like many people come and go, active members, but it's a large community now.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
completely awesome. The building of everything is just incredible.
Well,
and I was looking, and correct me if I'm wrong. iTelescope has a partnership also with Telescopius. Is that still?
Oh yeah, that's correct. I mean, there's so many gifted people. It's what's nice. You've seen so many entrepreneurs coming up. Telescopius is owned by an Argentinian. His name's Sebastian, and a very gifted Argentinian software developer. And what I like, or what we like about Telescopius really, is the graphical interface. I think things should be graphical. And we used to have this silly notion for people who enter astronomy that they should be, it's like a bit of snob thing. We are better and we know all these things about the heavens and whatever. And if you want to get there, you got to climb the ladder. Well, that's nonsense. If you look at the way the apps are written now, it's beautiful. You take up your iPhone, my God. One app is better than the next. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
You don't have to have that nonsense attitude anymore. Anybody can enjoy astronomy, and that's the way it should be. And we're also changing our platform towards that to really appeal to everyone. And Telescopius does that really beautifully, in my opinion. They have a nice, easy way to see the field of view and everything. And people who don't understand telescopes, they don't need to. They can start driving straight away, right?
Right, for sure.
Yeah. For sure. And Telescopius, I know we talk about Telescopius quite a lot on the show because it is the premier thing that we use to kind of talk to our viewers and say, hey, listen, how do you know what's going to fit on your chip if you're doing astrophotography? How is it going to frame up?
That's it.
And hey, you may have a nice 11-inch Schmidt Cassegrain, but if you
Yes.
want to get the whole of Andromeda Galaxy, well, you're going to have a problem. And let me show you why. And that gets into the graphical part of things, where you can see where the 11-inch Schmidt only gets the core, where an 80 millimeter, 400 millimeter focal length scope gets the whole thing. So that's one of the things that I like about telescope. Is it puts things, when you got people that are just getting into the hobby and getting into and they don't know what to do, and they say, okay, well, what do you want to get? I want to get everything. Oh, well, you're not going to get everything. But you're gonna have to. You want to get everything. You got to rent time on iTelescope. That's what you got to do. But it's interesting where you start seeing what you could fit and how that matches the budget of the person that's there.
Yeah, exactly. And then Telescopius added the mosaic. I pushed them to do that. Yeah. So they added the mosaic, and then I pushed them for the comets, and they're still working on the comets, because the comets are a big thing, right?
Sure.
I mean, gosh, we had this beautiful. I don't. The green screen doesn't work behind me, unfortunately, at the moment, for whatever reason. But let's not worry about that. By this beautiful comet Leonard and so on. People can take these beautiful images now, and it's very difficult often to understand it, because comets give a very short window of time. They're usually in the early evenings or mornings or so, and you really have to hurry and be lucky with all kinds of things, and that's where Telescopius helps a lot. At the moment, you still have this very in my opinion, too complex way of framing comets, and I think Telescopius will get to that, that you can frame the comet very nicely, not just the center of the head in the middle of the picture, which shouldn't be. You should have the whole thing with a tail, and you should even be able to do a long mosaic, even with a Rasa telescope. So you should put everything in, and they're going to get there. I think it's going to be exciting.
Nice.
So apparently you got an invite in the chat box from Tom Bramwell over at Prima Luce Lab. If you ever wanted to get into radio astronomy for the cloudy days, we would love to have you drive to see our Spider 300 amp radio telescope in Italy.
Oh, that's a great thing. Radio telescopes are so exciting. Actually, that's a great topic, and we actually are thinking later to add radio telescopes to our network. It's still a long way, but I think that's a wonderful idea. The problem that a lot of observatories have is that because they have a lot of antenna there, they're completely useless for radio astronomy. But I think at Siding Spring, we've thought about that. It would be very interesting to add, radio telescopes one day. So I think that's a very serious proposition, actually. It's a great idea. Yeah.
We have another follow-up question from Tarek. He's asking, do you have a plan for planetary and solar?
That's the greatest question ever. I know. Why don't you ask spectroscopy too? Let's get
there you go. Put it all in there.
Okay? That's the only thing that we are missing. But absolutely yes. And it's so funny. People always say it's so easy. I build up my telescope in the backyard. I see Jupiter, and then my answer to that is, do you really? If you have no control and you have a very long focal length, that means if you have you show me Jupiter, you know how damn difficult it is to get that stupid planet in the middle, right? It's there. You can't find it. I mean, I don't know am I the only one who has that problem?
Well, no. That's why I don't do planetary. I just don't do it.
and it's difficult. It's difficult.
It's hard.
In your backyard, right? Well, now imagine the problem doing it remotely. So you're absolutely right. We have that plan, and it's on our agenda. Talking about solar, it's wonderful. It's so exciting. We are actually we have an affiliate now who's got a super solar telescope. He's just shipped it to Siding Spring. We're going to build it up for him, and it's going to be the precursor for solar telescopes. And that's a big thing. We have to build a software platform and many other things, because I'm not talking about TeamViewer, right? It's very nice to TeamViewer into things, but you can't do that. That's not a way. You should have a simple control interface, right? That users can touch, and they can go across the sun's surface. They can decide whether they're going to take the surface or the the problems or whatever. The same for the planets, right? The focusing and all these things. It's a bit of a challenge, but we're on it. It's very serious. It's the same for spectroscopy. It's a huge, great topic, and we're tackling it. So yeah, we do.
Super exciting. That's super great.
I also have my own question is how does when it comes to schools and education, how do you guys work with schools that with iTelescope, and how do you interact to bring this to kids to educate them? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, at the moment we only have a university program. Okay, so at the moment we don't have that. However, I can tell you something. What we have now is, just since a few days, we have a very attractive price plan. So, and I'm not joking, you can, with a $20 membership, you can image the moon for free from as soon as the moon gets over 75%, which is in 1 or 2 days, in fact. You can for the next 10 days. So you go through full moon and thereafter, for $20, use all our telescopes for free as a member.
Wow.
That's unheard of. And I'm talking about top telescopes. You're talking about 24-inch telescopes here, right?
Wow.
So you can test narrowband. You can do whatever you want. So we've completely changed the way we're tackling it now to make it accessible for everybody. The people, no matter where you are in the world, it's possible for you to use the system. We found that our systems are idling during full moon. And we said, let's open it up. Let's open it up and let everyone have a blast. All you need to do is just spend $20 a month. You can cancel any time, and you have full access to that live. You can get on, have live control, and that's it. So that's our answer to that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, $5 a week, man. That's nothing,
Because we have Suburban Astronomer who he mentioned that they teach high school, and they want to start an astronomy club. So iTelescope would be a great, way, inexpensive way, instead of having to buy that equipment, to have that opportunity. So that would be great.
Yeah, and we have 2 free telescopes also. That means if you're a member, as soon as the telescope is free, it's live. You can't do a reservation, but it's live. You can jump on it. Schools can jump on it. And just use the telescope. You can image the moon. You can image whatever you want. They're top telescopes, by the way. So this is all new things we've just introduced a few days ago. And
that's great.
Money is not the problem anymore, right? So,
I mean, you're right. When it comes down to again, all the star parties going kaput pretty much, and all the, I mean, AIC seems like it's still going on the West Coast, but it looks like NEAF on the East Coast is kind of iffy. So all these things going away, it's got to be it was a big boom for astronomy in general. I could just imagine what it was for iTelescope and your side of the business, where hey, I could just get data and I could just throw money into the data, and I could process it all myself.
Yes.
Hey, Christian, can you mention to the audience whereabouts the scopes are in what area?
Of course. So we have the main, of course, because we're an Australian company. It started in Australia, right? So it's in Siding Spring, which is New South Wales. If you've been in Australia, you'll love it. If you've never been there, go there. Okay, that's what I can say. You got to see the southern sky. I mean, okay, if you go to Chile, it's wonderful. South Africa, there are many places, of course, where you can see the southern sky, right? But it's something you have to do. And then, of course, we have in Chile, we're building up something. So in Chile, we have a partner, and we are actually. We have a platform now that we can easily integrate other telescopes. So if they're partners, we can actually incorporate them and increase our network. The other one is in Spain. Of course, we have one in Spain. Then, of course, in North America, we have 2. The one is in Sierra, close where you live, in Sierra Nevada. Peters, no, you're not too far from there, right?
Yeah, it's just about an hour and a half down the road.
That's so you know that place better than I do. So there you go. And the other one is New Mexico skies, right? That's a very famous one.
Yeah.
And then what have I left out? 1, 2, 3, 4. Spain, Australia. Yeah, Chile and La Palma's coming in, but I mean, it's crazy. They had this crazy volcano there. You probably know that.
Mm.
So the observatories in La Palma were really badly affected, because of that. And we're still struggling to get our partner in La Palma on board. So that's where we are at the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can you tell a little bit about, you mentioned you have a $20 plan. What other types of subscriptions are available?
Yeah, you can go right up so it's $20, $40, then it's $90, $160, $290, $490, and then Plan 1000, whereby Plan 1000 is have a blast and use all telescopes as much as you want. That's that's quite a good plan if you think it's unlimited, right? That you can just there are people who just need a lot of data, and that's what you do, right? So
right. No.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that we kind of, like to promote, is because we have one member who is unfortunately probably at work right now. His name is Simon Lewis. He's from New Zealand, and one of our members from AstroWorld's is there, and he constantly talks about the southern skies and all these.
Right.
Yeah, he makes fun of us. He's like, you Northerners don't know what you're talking about, and it's kind of like we're all Yankees up here, and it's just and he told you got to come down, and he's right. I mean, I've never been in that part of the world at all. I mean, I'm lucky. I've been to Canada and Mexico, and I spent 1 week in Norway, but that was wonderful. But other than that, that's the extent of my travel.
Yeah. I remember I lived in Sweden, so that's 60 degrees north, right? If you go 60 degrees north in Canada, you're getting to very cold places, or Alaska. Yep. But of course in Europe, you mentioned Norway and Sweden, 60 degrees north, Stockholm, Oslo, they're all in that latitude.
Yep.
And it's warm because you've got the Gulf Stream, right? The climate's completely different. And I lived in Sweden, so I speak Swedish. And
nice.
I lived for a few years, and I remember that's where I started my astronomy. And I was irritated because I would set up my equipment in the garden, and we have these stupid northern lights, right? Everybody wants to see them. And I was so sick and tired. I said, not again, How many hours are you going to spoil my night again? So it's so funny when people get so excited. I thought, oh my God.
Christian, when I was in New Zealand, I can remember seeing Orion, and I'm looking at it thinking, wait a minute, that does look familiar, but I ended up having to go like this.
Yeah, that's right.
It's upside down. Why is he standing on his head?
We're so familiar with the constellations up here. I'm going, oh yeah, I know this, I know that one there, that's Leo. Now I'm down there, and I'm going, hold it, wait a second.
No, that's right. That's right. It's amazing, the southern sky. I mean, if you see all the the nightscape, you've got such beautiful photographs from North America coming in, but you can always see the how should I say, the center of the Milky Way is always crawling above the horizon, except if you go for Hawaii maybe and so on, right? Yeah. But if you go, you can see the southern sky just like it's just
right overhead.
New Zealand guy, right? Boom. It's in winter. It's amazing. You have to see it.
One of these days, if I ever get my butt on a plane again,
you should.
I need about 18 Xanaxes and a shot of vodka. And but let's see. I keep on getting beeps on Facebook, and I got to watch that because we might be getting questions on Facebook.
Okay. Looks like Sean's got a question.
Yeah, Sean had Sean from Visible Dark. Thank you again, Sean, for the show last night. It was awesome. You gave us that push. This morning we were at 1,021 subscribers on YouTube. So thank you everybody for the support. Thank you, Sean, for helping us jump that first hurdle. Thank you so much. But he said I used iTelescope in 2016 for a while. It was awesome. It'd be interesting to see how it's evolved since 2016.
I think, Sean, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I can really say that because quality wasn't always our strength. I'll be very serious. We had a lot of problems, and that has changed. We really have good stuff. The quality is the A, and is everything. You know, you have to have good calibration. You have to have a very dedicated staff, and it takes a lot of dedication. We didn't have that. We were understaffed, and I don't think that in 2016 we were anywhere near where we are now. So I'm inviting you to go ahead and try it again. Okay. So.
Oh, he will. He will. I mean, I remember when we were doing some other stuff. He was going all over the Southern Sky. He was doing like the tarantula and
Oh yeah,
a couple other things. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, I gotta say, you know, yeah, we got the Northern Sky stuff, but the stuff in the Southern Sky is just so much more cooler. I'm sorry, it is. I like, you know, I'll probably never see half the stuff unless if I get a time on one of your telescopes and do that. To be honest with you.
Yeah, and soon we're going to have I'm just going down to Australia in mid-March, and we're installing a live camera, because my dream is to show people the kangaroos during the day and then the beautiful night sky that they can, but not in these silly all-sky cameras that are just static, but really to move and that they can zoom in and so on. So that's what we're looking at. So
that's interesting.
Get the experience.
That's really interesting. Wow.
Yeah, the PTZ cameras, the security cameras are improving incredibly much. I've got one in Kelowna on our summer house. It's just amazing. They have 40 times optical zoom now, and you can actually. I zoomed in. I could see the moons of Jupiter. It's insane. You know that from your roof, remote controlled, for maybe $1,500. That was unheard of. A few years ago. So now you have the bandwidth. So it's amazing. And I thought, wow, we need the same in Australia. We need to show people what it looks like, right?
Right.
Yeah, right. I mean, Australia is just. I mean, that's one of the few countries that I know of that has the lighting ordinance that it has, and they're super protective. Yes. Of their night sky. I wish everybody was, but it's unfortunate that they're one of the few countries that really crunch down on businesses and having full cutoff lights and all that kind of stuff. A friend of mine is part of the light pollution.
Oh, great! I applaud that. That's great.
Yeah, so it's pretty awesome that they could do that. I wish that other countries would follow suit, but unfortunately, I guess there's too much business in killing our circadian rhythms. And
so, isn't it crazy? Our instruments are getting better. The noise is going down. Everything's getting better, and our light pollution is going up. It's just crazy,
Yep.
Well, we should definitely put a shout out for that solar storm that took out all those Elon Musk satellites today.
Yes, 46 out of 49 in the tank. Nice.
We've only got another. How many more to go?
Listen, there was a whole thing. I forget. It was either on Time or People or one of the magazines that were just showing, and they were being proponents of astrophotographers. And they were saying how these things are just killing, the night sky for people like us who take images. And dithering and stuff like that can get rid of this. But it just
dithering is not going to help.
It just gets too much. I mean, when you got like 3 or 4 satellites going like this across the page.
No, it's not going to help you. The statistics are, and how many pictures do you have to take to get rid of satellites? Right? You know that, right?
A lot.
So,
right. I mean, when this guy he's talking about, he's putting up thousands of these little satellites, these little low orbit satellites everywhere.
Yes.
It's killing us. It's killing us.
Yeah. Some places.
So when I heard about this, and I was like, oh, this is awesome.
I was like, yo, man, I was gonna get my airsoft gun and just like start shooting. But you know what? I understand what he's doing. It just there's no good without bad, I guess, and it's unfortunate, but
yeah, that is true. So
Yeah, the curious thing is Elon Musk went to the same school as I did in South Africa. I grew up in South Africa at Pretoria Boys High, and he went to the same school just a few years later. So
wow, that is interesting.
I never met him, but anyway, it's just funny.
Yeah, I never. Oh, my high school was about 70 kids, and I knew nobody. So it's just, there was nobody went to East Rockaway High School. Although there was a movie made about East Rockaway, and you could look that up. That's
What was
actually
that? High Times at Ridgemount High, right? Wasn't it?
that's that. You got that backwards. I think it's Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It's not High Times at Fastmont High. So, wow. So, I'm not even going there. I can't.
Well, I'll say this for me personally. I'm looking at the iTelescope website, and I'll say for me, this is kind of cool. I'm looking at this, and there is a astrophysical processor.
Eric, why don't you share it? And Dr. Christian, why don't you talk about it as Eric's moving around?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah. Well, why don't you do that? Because it might be a little bit easier.
I understand. Let's just see. Okay, here we go. That should work. Can you see my screen?
Give me a second. I just got to put it up.
Okay.
And there you go.
Here we go.
Okay, so that's our new homepage. You can see we have this new slogan which will be for iTelescope, Full Moon Happy Hour, and that's exactly what it is. That you can use any telescope for a whole hour. Full moon, that's the period I was talking about, 75% to 100%, 75%. So that's about 10 days or something like that, where you're going to have that, and it's coming up tomorrow for the first time.
Nice.
Well, there's a lot of exciting things. Just quickly to show you the structure. So we have now these free telescopes for subscribed members. So you can see we have a color telescope here, Rasa, right? The Celestron, and that actually won APODs, this one. And then we have another one. These two are this one is in New Mexico skies, and this one's in Australia. So anyone can jump on these and use these as long as you subscribe member. And it's also, by the way, even if you're not subscribed, you can use them for a few sessions just as a test. So we don't even require membership anymore, because we want you to be convinced that that's something you like. We're not trying to push you into something that you may not want to do, right? So I think we're the only site now where you can jump in and you can really use a telescope without even having a subscription. Right.
Wow, so that's nice.
Yeah. So nobody can say, well, like you're forcing us into this. No, we're not. Yeah. So that's the telescopes. Then we have we call them the affordable range, and you can see that. So those are. We've made it very simple now. We used to have that silly point system. Nobody understands points, so we've just made it. Well, this is what you're really going to pay. That's if you rent a telescope for a whole hour. It's like renting a taxi for a whole hour. That's the price you're going to pay per membership plan, right? And then the membership plans for affordable prices, they hit a cap until you go to plan 1000. So we have a lot of telescopes here in the affordable range. And then you can get to the very top range, the deep sky telescopes, right? And so there, of course, they get a bit more expensive, but if you get to plan 1000, you don't pay anything anymore, right? But even they should be quite affordable now, as you can see. I mean, these are top telescopes, and you can just go through the prices. So you can actually go from the cheapest that we offer is, I think, $19 per hour, right? For a whole hour for a telescope, right? So that's we can go through it. It should be hopefully very easy to understand. And then we have our membership plans, right? So you can see it gets from light to darker, and the sky gets darker and darker. That's how we did it. We have a recommended plan, and we are very transparent about the price range and everything. So for plan 20, for example, the cheapest telescope is 24 hours to $60 per hour, and so then you have free telescopes that don't cost you anything, and you can use them as many times, and you have full control over them. It's not like somebody else is controlling it. No, you are controlling this. You are really controlling this, right? So we have all the ranges there, and then you can go on to more plans, right up to the plans where you can do more and more reservations and so on. and then you go finally to the unlimited plan where you can do everything, and you get a personal hotline to me. If you need any help. Everything's included there, right? So and you can book up to 20 hours ahead in reservation time. So that gives you all the opportunities you need if you ever. And we have a few people who are very intense in usage, and that's what they would use. But anyway, the message is it's really anybody should be able to afford time.
Right.
And of course, the exciting thing here, try it for free. That's what I wanted to allude to. So if you don't need any plan for that, you can use this for free, and you can just test these telescopes for free. And that's 20 minutes, I think 3 times 20 minutes. And you can run and take some images, and you don't have to subscribe at all. It's completely up to you, right? So
that's awesome.
Nice.
And that's quite new. And then we have, this is the full moon. This is really the big thing. So we have this full moon happy hour. So this is coming up in 2 days and lasts for 10 days. So it's really, you look at the on demand, we have this happy hour. So everything from 75% moon to 100% moon to 75, all telescopes, the complete range is free for you, And, it doesn't matter if the moon shines in. We have a moon option. You can take the moon. You can take whatever you want. You can experiment with the most beautiful Don Goldman, Astrodon narrow bands. You can have a blast, whatever you want, right? And that's all part. All you need is a $20 subscription
That's awesome.
To take part in this.
That is absolutely awesome to be able to do this.
So how does that work? So if you go in there and let's say you want to take a picture of something in narrowband during the full moon, I obviously got to take a block of time.
Yeah. I'll show you. Yeah. So wait a minute. Then you have the join. You would first of all so I always think I'm logged in, but I'm not logged in here. Wait a second. But you would join. You can join a plan here. You would join for free. And then later you would subscribe, right? If you really want to use them, you need to subscribe to a $20 plan, and that lasts 28 days. And you can cancel that at any time, right? It's not difficult to cancel. Also, we don't have these hidden things. If you want to get out, it's very easy to opt out. We also have full support. We really have people behind that, that you can go in. Wait a second, I'm just wondering why I'm not able to log in at the moment. I'm logged out. I'm just wondering why that is problematic. Let me just try here. I should actually be trying to get in here. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so I'm just logging in just to show you our page very quickly so you get an idea. Okay, so that's what we call the launch pad, and you can see it's quite active at the moment. New Mexico skies is open. You can see the moon's getting quite active. So just going to expand this a bit so you can see that. So you can see the moon's at 64% right at the moment. You can see which telescopes are available. So let's jump in and have a blast. Okay, so here you go. I just have to, this is the wrong credentials. Let me just do this very quickly. There we go. So I'm just going to jump in. So I'm just jumping in, and let's take some images. Well, let's say you want to take an image of the moon, for example. Okay, so that's all new. So you can see what the moon illumination is at the moment. Is the moon visible or not? You can see that, right? The filter and exposure time. And it's very easy. You can just say how many images you want. I'm going to take, well, let's just take 2. You can see the duration. It's taking it with a narrowband filter. And you just click acquire images now, and off you go, right? That's it. And it's so simple. And that's going to put the images then into your into your folder. Now, if you have people who don't understand FITS files, I understand that. I mean, they come here. So all you can do here is you can also have a TIFF file as an option, right? And I didn't do that now. I should have done it actually, but then you get it as a TIFF file, and you can go to Photoshop and you can keep your nice image, and you get a very good image of the moon, right? So the field of view of T14 is perfect to image the whole moon and so on. You get very good resolution. Okay, so that's running right now. That's in real time. I'm just controlling it. You see how easy it was, right? Then you go to, you have another thing called a one-click image. That shows you what's actually visible right now. So this is too close to the moon also. You can't take these. These are all too close to the moon at the moment, right? So it's that's probably not allowing you to take these. But you can go to deep sky objects, and we were just talking about telescopius, right? That makes it very easy, right? So if you don't know, if you don't know what to do, you actually go to telescopius. You see where it says iTelescope planning tools. I just click on it, and you jump straight into our telescope planner. And we were just at New Mexico skies. So if I go here on today's date, right, and just say search, well, here you go. Here are all the all the objects that are visible now. And well, you select one. Which one do you want, right? I don't care. What you tell me which one.
M51.
Okay, so M51, that's fine. Wait a second. There it is. Okay, there we go. Okay, so M51, I'm just going to expand it to you and tell you quickly what we're seeing. So this is done via telescopius, which is really wonderful. So we've got the beautiful Whirlpool galaxy. You got the right side. You don't have to worry about that. You see the exact angle to the moon is 91 degrees. Here's the rise time. Here's the transit time. And here's the set time, right? So you can see that it's rising later in the evening tonight. And so it's still, indeed, it's the Whirlpool is getting excited, as you know, exciting as we move to April, right?
Yep.
And then let's get some information about it. You jump into telescopius here. Okay, so it's linking directly to telescopius. You can see I'm in New Mexico skies here. There's the beautiful image. Here I'm just going to change the settings here so you can see this color background. It's better. There, that's much better, right? So this just tells you a nice curve. This is the 30-degree line. That's 30 degrees. That's daytime. That's nighttime. So you can see, well, approximately 10:50 p.m. we can start imaging, and we can do that all night till the early morning, right? So that's our window, right? That's it. There's also, it says it down there. And then you want the field of view. So that makes it easy. By default here, it's on iTelescope, and you can choose among various telescopes, right? Let's take T24, which is a 24-inch. That's the one that's close to Peter's home, right? So I'll just click on this. 1 second. So there you can frame the object, right? You can frame the object, and you can see the virtual field of view. Makes it very easy. And you can go through different telescopes and see what it would look like, right? On that. And you can see, for example, if you use T20, if I go down to T20, that would be far too wide, right? That's a wide field telescope, right? That's more for the moon, but definitely not for this. And you can frame whatever you want. And so you get a good idea of which telescope is useful, right? So let's say we decide it's going to be T24, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we know all that. You said, do we want the Whirlpool? Okay, let's go and let's do it. So I'll jump back to the main page. Let's jump to the launch pad again, right? So we want T24. You see that Sierra remote? It's available now. How nice. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do something with it. So I'm just going to wait. And let's have a look what's going on. Sometimes it's connection's a little bit slow, depends.
While we're waiting, we got a question from Tarek over at the UAE. Got a question to understand iTelescope better. What does the T stand for?
Yeah.
And how did you come down to, based on the number, what did the number designated? How did you come with that designation?
Yeah, and you're actually pointing out something that we're going to change in future. It's not logical. It's just it sort of was an evolution of telescopes, right? It started in New Mexico, and that's why T5 and the lower numbers were there, and then came Siding Spring. It's not very good, I think, right? What would be much, oh gosh, it's slow today. What would be much better, and that's what we're going to do in future, is we're going to give it designations that you will understand better. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. It's not ideal, right? It's not ideal, but that's how they came about. We never knew it would grow so quickly, right? And that's what happened. It's
just started adding numbers upon numbers every time you put one up there. So
Exactly. And it's not ideal. I agree. And we will change that when as we're developing our new platform. We're going to do that. So that's part of the plan, right?
Got it.
Okay, so let's do this quickly. Okay. So I would say now jump on here on deep sky objects. See that deep sky objects? So usually we would write a plan. I'm just going to call it M51 here because that's what we said you'd like. So M51, I just say look up the coordinates, and that's exactly what it does. It tells you the suggested window that we already know, right? You start late in the evening, and you can image the whole night, in fact, right? Okay, great. So it automatically put the coordinates in. View object frame, that's new. So I'm not going to do that. We can jump right back into Telescopius now. So that's nice. You'll see everything in Telescopius, and you'll see the exact framing. We won't have to do that again because I've just done it. What you can also do, you can add other targets to it. So not just one target, but you could say, well, maybe I want to do M51, and afterwards, whatever is nearby, I want to do that too. We won't do that now, but that's what you can do. Okay, so it should really be easy. Well, so we're going to do very quickly, and you're aware of the filters that we can use. You have luminance, red, green, blue, and you can use narrowband too if you want to. So I'm just going to do a one for, just a typical 300 seconds is fine. I'm going to do binning 1 on them, and I'm just going to put it for red, green, and blue, just to make a very simple example here, okay?
Sure.
And I'm going to make binning 2 here just because we're going to save a bit on the colors. Okay, green, make it 300. Binning 2. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what binning is, I'm putting the pixels together, getting more signal, but less resolution. That's the compromise, okay? But it's just nice for demonstration. Why not? Okay, sure. And the same for blue. And there you go. That's the whole plan. Okay, and now if you want to, you can repeat the whole thing. Now you can say, well, why didn't you put the number in here? I can put the repeat function here. And let's say I want to repeat this 3 times. So there's a small difference here. What we're telling the telescope to do now is take a 5-minute image, 300 seconds of the lumens, but then take one red, then take one green. So the filter wheel is rotating all the time. And then you repeat that 3 times. So I could have said, well, do 3 lumens, 3 red, 3 green, blue. There's only one disadvantage with it, or several small disadvantages. If the clouds suddenly come in and you've taken lumens, red and green, well, you don't have any blue, right? But at this way, I would at least have maybe 2 cycles of the whole thing before the clouds come in. I have something. So that's why, in general, I recommend to do it that way. Okay. Now, the new thing is you can choose your building method. This is really new. If you want it session-based, that's like driving a taxi. If you take a taxi in New York, right? You, very rarely, as far as I know, they'll give you the price till the end. You just get in and you pray that your traffic's not going, right?
Yep, pretty much.
That's the same here. If you go session-based, you pray that the telescope's not going to take too long, right? Because it may focus and may have difficulties. So that's your gamble. It's a lower price on session, but the journey may take longer, right? We know the average. If you do it exposure-based, you know what you're paying. It's like paying from getting one part of New York to the other. You're paying for getting there, and you don't care how long you're in the traffic. So you're paying purely for the 60 minutes here, right? So that's the difference.
Okay. Another questions we had from Phoenix Astro Mark. He was asking, are you able to rotate or the framing of the target? Are you able to rotate?
Great question. And you know what? This is something you would definitely do in your backyard. And I'll tell you why we don't do it. We've had it before. We had a 27-inch plane wave, and it was alt-az, and we had a field rotator. You know what the problem is with these damn field rotators? If you point at the zenith, it rotates forever, right? That's part of the problem. But a field rotator, there are no fast. There are several problems. For our users, we would need a very reliable and very fast field rotator. Even the ones we have from PlaneWave are too slow for us. It takes a long time to rotate, and also they break down. I mean, the way we use telescopes, nobody uses telescopes. Really, I mean it. If you think you're doing a lot in your backyard, you're not. We're using them all the time, really all the time. And every mechanical part that you have in a telescope is a problem. And you just don't have the possibilities to come in at night and reset and repair them. That's why we don't have the possibility for field rotation.
Okay. And then we also have from Sean with Visible Dark. He's asking, how far in advance can you book a telescope?
3 months, up to 3 months in advance. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and that's it. So you say creative plans for later, and then that's it. Now we have a plan, and either we could say acquire it now, but it won't work.
Doesn't set
I don't
yet.
know what time is it actually. I don't
Yeah,
even
it
know.
doesn't till 10:30, I think, right?
Yeah. So
definitely.
it might. Let's try and say acquire. Let's be nasty. Let's see if we can do it.
No.
Now you see, there we go.
Yep.
No, guy, well, you're stupid. This is not going to. So it tells you that in a few minutes it should work. But we can create a plan for later. That's what I'm doing now. And there's my plan called M51. And then I can make a reservation, right? That's what the question was here.
Yep.
And yeah, you could look at that. Let's make a plan. What is the current time? Oh gosh, I'm lost complete. So it's 7 p.m. So we need to. Yeah, we could shove it in here. Probably that would work, right? Let's just click on this, and I would just say, let's try this. And I'm just going to say, select the plan M51, and just say confirm reservation, and I'm done. It's run. That's it.
Nice.
That's it. Nice.
It's simple. And
So
if I
very
decide
simple.
to move it, look at that. I can move it to the other day. You could just shove it or move it closer to this guy if you want to, and so on. So that's
Christian, what catalogs are available? What catalogs to choose from? Messier, NGC?
yes. It's the usual NGC Messier. We don't have stars yet, right? That we're often asked, because people want to do stars. So if you use stars, you have to put the RA and deck coordinates in yourself, right? Comets too. The ephemeris is calculated in real time so we have. This is very nice, by the way. We have the comet one. Oh, sorry. Here's the comet one. So you can actually, if you put a name in for a comet or an asteroid or whatever, it will automatically look up the ephemeris. You don't have to do anything, and it'll track it in. It'll track it. It'll track the object really. So you can do that, right?
And do you have the catalogs?
Sorry?
Christian, do you have the Sharpless catalogs?
No, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure. Honestly, I would have to look at that. I don't know. Okay, about that. Okay.
Let's see. We got somebody in the chat that shouldn't be there.
A follow-up. Sean was mentioning he remembers when he was with iTelescope in 2016, it was difficult sometimes to get time on a telescope because some users were hoarding the time slots on many telescopes.
Yeah, that's very valid. That's why we changed the policy. So now you have enough free time. The funny thing is now during full moon, when it was always empty, we're going to have overcrowded during full moon. So we might run back into the problem, but at the same time, Sean, that's a very valid point, and we're very aware of that, and we are working like crazy on new software that makes it easier to get more and more telescopes on. So we are expanding. So there's a very fine balance between giving enough telescopes, and we're aware of that, and I think it has improved, but it's not ideal yet. We have to do better. Okay. So that's how I see it.
And you were saying you're adding more telescopes. Do you have any? Can you let us know maybe which ones you're looking at right now, as far as the future telescopes that you may be coming up, maybe this year or later in next year?
Yeah, there's a few coming up in Chile for sure. We've got 20-inch added on there, and so on. The restrictions we often have is what people have in COVID is supply. Is terrible. You know that when you order.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. It's not the manpower. It's wow. If something breaks down, we are in trouble. Really, it's horrible. And we're not the only ones. I even talk to our competitors. We have friends. It's not like competitors. It doesn't work like that in the AstroWorld. I know I have friends there. They have their own observatories, and they compete with us. I don't care. That's fine. But they all have the same problem as we do. You know, everyone has the same problem, right?
Right.
And that's a big thing at the moment. Is just the supply chain. If your camera breaks down, we just had that at another site in Chile where I was helping someone. Gosh, their camera broke down. Wow.
There's nothing to do. It's just so hard. I mean, you know, Pete and I both work for telescope distributors, and it's just when people are waiting. I mean, Takahashi, 26 months. You know, astrophysics is over 2 years. And it's crazy. But it's unfortunate about what's going on with the import-export business right now, and it's incredible. Just the containers themselves are just costing.
You're right. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So that's the limitation we have. You know, is hardware supply. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's bad, and hopefully one day it'll get better. Hopefully someday soon. But this whole thing has been a real boom to the astrophotography and just astronomy community in general, because people are staying at home and they want something to do, and they say, okay, I want to see the Hubble Space Telescope. I want to see that. I said, well,
and by the way, I want to show you something that's for free that is really nice.
Yeah, do it.
And that's really for everyone. We have these. Wait a minute. Let me get back on the main page. Wait a second. Let me just get back on the iTelescope page. I just want to show you that. So, if you go to the premium images is another thing that's very nice. But we have these webinars, and they're getting very popular. So you can see that. We invite top people here, and we have huge webinars. Here's one on asteroid hunting and photometry, right? And what our approach is very hands-on. So these people bring their own images. They show everyone, and they don't have to be part of iTelescope at all. But anybody can participate and see it in practical examples. We have Voyager coming up. That's a big thing, right? It's beautiful software. Many of you will know that, right?
Actually, we have who's from Voyager again? Who is it? Roland.
Yeah, Roland.
Roland's going to be a guest star in 2 months on the show.
Exactly. Great people and wonderful software. It's so exciting to see what's coming up for everyone in the AstroWorld. And then we have another one here on the spectrograph that's taking what I was just talking about. We're collaborating with them to work on a telescope with a spectrograph. And then we have, of course, the cosmologists coming in. You've got these young people coming in, really smart people, showing us about the early universe and collapsing galaxies, and then also the question of space junk and so on and so on. So we have all these webinars coming in. So I encourage you to subscribe, and you can ask questions just like Daniel's doing a great job. We're just expanding education for everyone to enjoy.
And I'll tell you, I'm a little biased right now because I'm the only one who really uses this software. But if you go to, I think it was the other webinars and beginners, you guys have a little video or tutorial for AstroPixel processor.
Yes,
I'm the only one who does. I'm probably the only one of these guys that use APP.
Well, in all fairness, APP is a very widely used piece of software. It is. It's unfortunate that really, on a grand scheme, hasn't really found its spot in the U.S. yet. But it's all over Europe. It's all over Canada. It's all over the place as far as being widely used now. Just like QHY cameras hasn't gotten a foothold in the U.S.
Right.
But they're trying, and they're going to get there. But ZWO would totally crush that market in the U.S. And
that's true.
Totally crushed the market. I mean, totally saturated the whole thing with red. You can't find a purple camera to save your life. But I'm a big fan of QHY and their firmware. And what the cameras can do from a hardware standpoint, and that's why I have a 16200. I got a 268 coming, And I love QHY cameras. I really do. I just want to be different than everybody else, though. So.
And that's fine. And look, when it comes to software, everybody must choose what they like, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, everything has its advantages and disadvantages, as you know. The reason why we are teaching AstroPixel processor is the simplicity for beginners to get in. That's the key thing. How do we? I used to teach MaxMDL, CCD stack, Fixed Insight. They're great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with they all have their positive things. The thing about APP is it just makes things very easy, that you don't have to click 1,000 things and have to remember things. What I want to see, really, or what we want to see, is people to succeed, right? That's what it is. And whatever, it's the same as Voyager coming up and so on, replacing ACP and many other things. You see new ideas coming up. It's great. The astronomy world needs new ideas, and it doesn't matter where they come from. The best should succeed, and no matter what they're called, right? That's it. That's how I see it. And everyone should have a choice. You have your choice for QHY. That's great. That's what I can say. Whatever. It's fine.
I mean, there are tons of camera makers out there, from ATIC to QHY to QSI. There's so many good camera makers out there. It's nice that you can sit there and say, hey, you're not just stuck with one. You can get whatever you want. It's awesome. Phoenix Astro had a question real quick. Do you have a data library that members can download and process?
Yes, we do. So this is one other thing that what we have is what we do is the following. We have what we call premium images, right? So this is the premium image set. So we release them every 14 days. And this shows you some of the qualities of the images. This was this won an APOD, actually. So we release the data for our members. And not only that, but we follow up with tutorials at the same time, right? So it's like giving out something to do and then giving the solution to it. Because as you know, sometimes image processing is not so easy. You've got these rings or whatever. They're not perfect, right? We're not perfect. We make mistakes in calibrations and so on. But we teach people, we try and give them something that they can go back with and succeed. And as you know, there's so many gifted astro imagers out there, and some of them do such excellent such excellent things, much better than what I can do with image processing. It's great. We want people to succeed, so we help them with this. So that's what we have as part of our premium images. It's also part of our subscription, right? So
that's awesome.
That's great.
That's great, because I really like that option and that availability, just to download some data, just to learn, just to learn from and get some practice in. I think that's fantastic. I think that's really cool.
And are you able to, are these totally calibrated images, or can you download the calibration data as well?
No, so these are completely calibrated. Everything is calibrated. In this case, you don't download the calibration data. We already calibrated for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's good for you just to work on the post processing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There's always a lot to do, as you know, right? I mean, it's people. You look, post processing is an art, right? And whatever is whatever is good for you is good for us, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't have any. I've seen beautiful images, and you have such gifted, creative people out there. On AstroBin and everywhere. It's wonderful. And they come up with creative ideas. It's not the way things look. It's the way we want things to look, right? And that's good.
Yeah. and that's something that we talk about on the show quite a bit when people submit pictures for us to kind of take a look at, not critique, but give our take on the picture. Yeah. And the bottom line is, and what we say is all the time, is the bottom line is it doesn't matter what we think about your picture.
I agree.
Do you like it? Are you going to put it up on your wall? Are you going to give it to your uncle, father, brother, cousin, son, whatever? Just do it. Just put your hands in there, get dirty, do the post-processing, learn how to do it, and get it to where you feel comfortable that that's a good picture and that's what I can do.
And it's fine, and people get so happy like children. You have these, it's just wonderful to see it. Let them be happy, let them succeed, let them
absolutely.
Have images. wonderful. You know, that's it.
Yeah.
Remember about 2 weeks ago, we saw that image of the elephant trunk.
Yeah.
I mean, we looked at the image of the elephant trunk, and we're all thinking, okay, well, this is how it definitely should look. But it was absolutely a great.
Yeah, it was purple.
Yeah, the purple. It was awesome. I thought it was fantastic.
I thought it was a completely different take on the Elephant Nebula I've never even seen before. But you know what?
That's
It looked really good. It looked good.
Yeah.
You know?
It was absolutely amazing.
That is, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was lucky. I actually had Don Goldman and Joseph Drudes. Those are, as you know, they were my teachers in astrophotography, and they told me it's all art. You know,
Yep.
That's what it's about. So,
It really is.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. You know, it's all about what your eyes think is good.
Yeah.
But
No, absolutely. This is a great little tutorial here, Christian.
You're very welcome. I mean, we want people really to be happy in that time. That's what it's about. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
All right. So yeah, we got a bunch of quotes. I guess a lot of people are talking about on the 268. Everyone's talking about apparently we got like 5 268 users online. They're all talking about how good the 268 is and how QHY is good. so that's yeah, you know.
The problem we have with the you know, people always say, why don't you put more megapixels on? And you know that we have a big problem with oversampling now, right?
Yep.
It's, well, you know all that, right? So this is a big problem, and binning solves it partly, right? But I you know, we're hoping that new types of CMOS cameras will come out with larger pixels. You know, in my opinion, we don't match the CCDs yet, right? I mean, the old S-big cameras that we had, the 16803 and so on, in my opinion, are still, you know, better for many purposes.
Hey, I still got my KAF 8300, so
yeah. And they're great, right?
Yeah.
They're great. I mean, of course, you've got these incredibly low noise now, but you know, to get the gain right and so on takes a lot, and you don't get the full 16-bit range out, at least not as far as I know. You know, maybe on the top cameras, but I think the CMOS will get there, but we still have a bit to go. That's what we see, and also they break down faster. You know, we have, I mean, we've had ZWOs and QHYs. They don't last so long with us. We really drive them. And compared to the CCDs, they're not there yet. I mean, that's the price difference, right?
Right.
Yeah,
for sure.
So,
and
yeah, I mean, but you know, yeah, you guys cranking out, you know, constantly people are on these telescopes. So, you know, using a CMOS like a ZWO or a QHY is probably a little bit unrealistic because you're putting in so many man hours into these cameras and using them that I could see them probably burning out a little bit sooner than your average backyard astronomer.
Well, you know what, Eric? A lot of it has to do with the build quality. I mean, look at the FLI and look at the Diffraction Limited that bought SBIG.
Yep.
I mean, you look at the Illuma line of SBIG cameras.
Yep.
Those are a workhorse. The build quality in those cameras
are
phenomenal compared to the mass-produced China product.
That's true.
It's just that you're going to spend a lot more money for the American and Canadian-made product, but they are workhorses because of the build quality.
I mean,
you know, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love my S-Big. I bought my S-Big a long time ago, and you know, I said to somebody, I said, I forget who I was talking to, and you know, I was like, yeah, I got the S-Big. It's the 8300, but you know, it's like the entry level one. You know, that's what it was back then. It was like you just got your foot in the door on the S-Big world, and he's like, you got an S-Big. That's like saying you bought a Porsche, but you bought the cheapest one on the lot. But you got a Porsche, you know. So you know, it's interesting the way people kind of do that. And we were talking about sensor chips and how the CMOS sensor has, you know, really kind of taken over I'm still a CCD. I'm an old school CCD guy. So I mean, eventually these guys will,
of course,
will get me to switch over to CMOS eventually. But Sony back in December announced, I don't know if you saw the announcement on their new stacked CMOS chip.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I mean, this thing is going to be ridiculous. They found a way to kind of put the pixels in the middle of the transistors, so it raises the quantum efficiency through the roof,
Crazy.
and the sensitivity is just ridiculous.
It's amazing. No, they will take over. I mean, you summarized it very well, Daniel. It's exactly like it's going to be. It's going to take over. It's just like the old-fashioned incandescent light bulb and the LED. You can't get the incandescent light bulb anymore. Although I'm still a big fan of them, So.
Hold on to that 16803. That to me is the best CCD chip. I love that chip.
Peter, we have problems. This guy in Chile got a 24-inch. The only 16803 was from Meridian that you can get now. You can't buy them anymore.
No, you can't find it.
I know. And the crazy thing is now is like FLI. I don't know what's going to happen with FLI, but I think they're just getting out of the market for what we do in our hobby. They're getting more into the medical. So it would surprise me if down the road they're going to just say, okay, guys, no more astronomical cameras. We're out of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That'd be unfortunate, because that shrinks the market for the rest of them. And that just raises the prices everywhere else. And,
look at the China-made products right now. They're going to smaller pixels.
Yeah.
But when you have 2,000 millimeter focal length,
yeah, that's the problem. That's dictating it. Yeah,
that's going to be a big problem when you just like you said, Pete. Right when you start getting into those longer focal length, 1,000, 15, 2, 2350, and then you're trying to go on a 3.76 pixel pitch.
Yeah,
it's not going to work.
No,
it's tough. With me using my Schmitz with these smaller, pixel size, sensors. I know because that's why I have to bend.
Yeah.
This is the reason why we have to bend.
You have no choice.
We have no choice.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you lose a lot on the resolution side of that. And now you just got to take more data.
Yeah.
And then you got the choice. Do I bid in camera or do I bid in software? So it kind of adds to it. Yeah. And then now, if I'm not mistaken, take a look, and I saw this on Cloud Nights the other day. Kevin Moorfield brought up a very good point, because he was talking about looking at binning. With QHY cameras, are they summing the total pixels in the binning? Because if it does, that adds a potential another problem. And I'll have to figure out where I saw that thread, but I was reading that thread, and it opened up a lot of ideas about, you're right. Is it averaged or is it summed?
Yeah.
Because there's a big difference between the two.
Absolutely.
And I think that QHY now is summing the bin pixels rather than averaging them out. And that is going to open up a real big can of worms.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. If they're doing that, that's going to be a big issue.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, we'll just have to see.
Yep. That's it.
Tarek, new Stony Astro sensor, not new format as okay, but that's nothing. Sorry. Not that it's nothing, Tarek, but it's just a comment.
In regards to the cameras now that are attached to the scopes, are all of them in a landscape orientation or some of them in a portrait orientation?
I think we have some in portrait too. We do. Most of them are landscape. Yeah, it's 0 and 90 degrees. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And those will be stated when the people pick and choose which telescope. They'll tell you, okay.
Yeah. Only in Spain they come up with weird numbers. Sometimes we can't do anything about it because they maintain them, right? Sometimes you get these crazy 58 point something degrees, and everybody says, "What the heck is this?" But that's we're trying to standardize. We're trying our best, but it doesn't always work.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we got it. Scott, do you have any questions? Because you've been kind of quiet this whole.
Wake up, Scott.
No, I'm just listening.
Okay.
I am curious about what is your personal scope, Doc? What do you have one in your house?
Yeah, I do. That's a great question. So yeah, I've actually Peter knows my stuff very well because I ordered a lot of things through him, and he's been incredibly helpful. So I actually. I love new technology. So I tried the Hoben mount actually. And
Okay.
that's a story of its own. You know, these harmonic drives, they're great, but they're, well, they can be a bit problematic. But let's start with the home mount. I'm very much into portability. I like because you know, here in Vancouver, the sky is no good. But if you drive for about 1.5 hours, it gets quite good. So up to now, in my opinion, a complete, very user-friendly portable scope doesn't exist, right? No matter what I try and no matter what people say, I've never seen a beautiful setup that really goes, you know, very easy. You know, we don't have to worry about pole alignment and all these other things. Everything has some issues, right? So I tried with the home mount because it should be light, and I had some problems with the periodic error there. But the factory was very cooperative. I sent it back, and they completely overhauled it and sent it and did it. And now it works like a dream, right? So a lot of these things take a lot of steps. And then what I do is actually because I'm a wildlife photographer, I actually use my 800 millimeter. It's an 800 millimeter Nikon lens, which I use for my eagle photography, for my wildlife. I put it on the home mount, right, and use it for astrophotography together with my DSLR, which can be a D5. And in this case, it's a Nikon, but it doesn't matter with Nikon Canon. I don't really care as long as people are happy. In my case, it's Nikon. So yeah, I have an 810A that has, you know, the enhanced, as you know, the filter that you can go more into the red and so on. And I have a Z7, which is equivalent to the 850 and so on. So at daytime, I use it for eagle photography, and at nighttime, I convert the whole thing into Astro. That's how I do it. It's different. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm a fellow. Not hobo. I just
Losing
drew
you.
a blank on it.
Yeah, you have rainbow.
Yeah.
Oh yes, rainbow.
Yeah, I have a rainbow mount. The harmonic.
Losing you, Scott.
Yeah.
Yet, but yeah.
We lost you
must
for a
be that-
moment.
Yeah, we're losing you there, Scott.
It's that geostorm that took out the satellites.
Yeah. Telling you.
Hey, Christian, how's that hummingbird project coming along? I want to see those.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Is it still on the back burner?
Well, that's my hobbies. Of course, I have a high-speed camera that was actually made in Vancouver that could take 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 frames per second, and I'm trying to get hummingbirds in flight. So I do that in my backyard during the day. These are the type of things I set up, and it's coming along. I'm doing a lot in that. Thanks for asking. I love hummingbirds. It's just...
You know who takes a lot of pictures of hummingbirds? Tom Bramwell does. He has a whole big hummingbird like sanctuary in his backyard.
Oh, I'm envious. I'm sure he's got a lot more than I do.
Oh, he constantly is taking pictures of hummingbirds, and I can't imagine taking pictures like those. I mean, they're just awesome. The way they have, they're not. I don't know if they're in flight. They're just hovering, kind of.
Yeah.
But he got some great pictures of that. So.
Yeah, that's so much fun. The other thing I'm just starting, I just want to show you. This is beautiful. So I'm testing these things. This is what I do my own, because I like spectroscopy. My background is physics, really. So I'm trying to also. That's a small spectrograph manufactured actually in Florida, right? So it's tiny. It's a 600 millimeter lines per millimeter. It's got an optical fiber on, and I'm going to go to test this on a telescope actually. So you can see how small it is. Isn't it amazing? So it's just got a USB hub, a software, and you can see it's so, I think I get it like a boy. You can put this in the sun, you see the Fraunhofer lines, right? Yeah, you can see them actually. You can see all that with a small instrument like that. So those are the type of projects that I have myself, and I sort of test them, and later sometimes we adopt them at the iTelescope. But that's just, it's just for fun. It's my own investment, and it's just because I love science. That's what I do. So.
That's awesome. It looks like Greg, one of our watchers, he said he just got back from scouting land in northern Arizona, Portal 1 skies, looking
my
to
goodness.
buy some land over in northern Arizona. So that's going to be awesome. Good luck with that, Greg.
Great. I can only congratulate you. Go ahead, do it. That's all I can say. Whatever you dream of, do it. It's never hold back.
Because in 20 years, it'll be a Portal 3.
Yeah, do it now. Do it now.
Do it now. Trust me. I still have the dream to move to New Mexico.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to move to New Mexico. Isn't that the land of Breaking Bad?
Well, that's Albuquerque.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's Albuquerque.
You know, the great thing is in the States, I mean, you get Texas, West Texas, and so on. You get, well, I mean, Peter and I talking about that. You have a lot of beautiful, skies there. I'm very envious here in Canada. We don't have that, right? So, wow, if I were in the States, I would do what the guy in Arizona does also too, because I get it.
Just do it.
Christian, I got a really great idea for iTelescope.
Tell me. Always open.
Come to Long Island. It's good. Let me tell you, all you got to do is build a radio telescope on Long Island, and you're good. You're fine. Because you're not getting anything in Portal 9 skies. It's not happening. Well, I am relegated to narrowband only. That's all I do. I'm from Long Island, and that's all.
Hey, Dan, you better get into radio astronomy there.
What's that?
You better take up radio astronomy.
I have a friend who's a ham radio operator, and he built his own radio. And I was sitting there, and I sat there with him for like 2 hours just watching this oscillator go across for like 2 hours. I'm like, all right. When is something going to happen here? I mean, I want something to happen. And all of a sudden I hear, and I'm like, oh yeah, what was that? I was like, that was a solar flare. I was like, get out of here. And sure enough, there was a solar flare on the news a couple of days later. And
wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We actually heard the solar flare.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
But how on Long Island, can you do anything with narrowband? I mean, I've never tried in such sky. Does it work? Can you do it?
That's mine.
Wow, that's a great answer. So you can. That's fantastic.
That's mine. Yeah.
You can be proud of that. That's fantastic.
Yep. That's mine. That's about 20 hours in a Portal 8 sky.
Good for you. Wow.
Let's see. Yeah, it's don't get me wrong. It's a challenge, man. It is not easy.
Good for you. Fantastic.
I mean,
fantastic. Wow, love it. Well done.
There you go. That's that. So, I got some good. I haven't done anything recently because it's just been so bad.
Yeah.
And just you guys don't know this yet because it happened tonight. So tonight, even though it's what is it about? Like you said, I think it was 64% moon. It's about the same here. It's a little bit over half. And I go and I'm like, cool. I said, I'm just going to do some narrowband. I don't care. I'm just going to take a picture. I go and I set everything up. Everything's going good. Everything connects. I go to SLU to, what was it? I was going to go to Rosette Nebula. I was going to go to the Rosette. And I go there. And all of a sudden my computer says lost connection. I'm like, what the hell? What happened? And I go and I look out the door and I see my telescope is black. Usually I could see kind of, red lights flashing or something. And I go, and sure enough, my power supply for my Eagle crapped out. And it just died. It just died. So I had no power for my entire rig because I literally run an extension cord out to the power supply. And I have a pier in my backyard, but I have nothing else. I don't have a dome or anything. It's just outside. And so now I have to buy a new power supply. So I ordered one. I ordered one from Woodland Hills.
As long as you get one,
Oh yeah, they have 5 in stock, so I got one. So hopefully, but now I'm out for another week.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got an idea to ask our audience members, and I think that with Christian being here, we've definitely told Christian that what we do is we actually have our membership send us some photographs.
Yeah.
And Christian, you being the guest, we're going to actually go ahead and I'm going to ask our members to send in some photographs. And once again, what we do is we kind of looked at the photographs. We give them ideas on ways to improve upon it, what we like about it, what we don't like about it. And as Christian is as our guest, I think, Christian, you'd probably enjoy this as well. So
sure, go ahead.
let's
Hey,
do this.
Dan.
Yeah.
Why don't you go onto the Discord channel and I dropped my latest, and so
you did. I saw it.
I would like to get you guys' opinion on it.
Let me see if I can find. What
I
you put on
haven't posted it to AstroBin or Facebook or anything.
Yeah, I got it right here.
It's only been on the Discord channel right now.
Yeah, I got it right here. Let me just download it real quick and save image. And okay.
This one I imaged it, and the post processing is a mix of AstroPixel processor and PixInsight, but I think the majority of it was in AstroPixel.
This came out really good. This is one of your best ones, dude.
You think so?
Yeah, this is definitely one of your best ones. I'm gonna share my screen right now, and I saw it on I saw it on Discord, but Discord doesn't do it any justice.
Okay. Well, I can share my screen and I can actually bring up the actual one.
Yeah, I actually got it right here.
Okay, go for it.
And
Eric.
So tell us a little bit about it, Eric.
Yeah, so basically this was with this is the Tadpole Nebula.
Mm-hmm.
And this was actually using two separate cameras.
Sorry.
Yep, no problem. This was using two separate cameras. This is a combination of the ASI 294 one-shot color and the ASI 294 mono. And I did this both in HA and O3, and I did the stars with the one-shot color.
Oh wow, good idea.
And then I did in an AstroPixel processor, I did the RGB combine. And they have an algorithm where you can do RGB HOO.
Yes, it's nice. Yes,
and it was a lot of I have some learnings, and I'm actually going to do I'm going to do a video on how to do this. On my YouTube channel to share how you can actually do this with AstroPixel processor. But yeah, this was the majority of it was all done in APP. The only thing that I really did in PI was the noise reduction.
Yes.
Because APP doesn't really have that noise reduction. And and I did but all the stretching and everything else. And I did a little bit of contrast, within PI, but it was not that much. Majority of it was all done in APP.
No, congratulations. It's
great.
Great.
Thanks. And so this was taken over because of these awful, all this awful weather we've been having. I squeezed out,
Eric, where are you based?
I'm in Illinois. I'm in Illinois, just about 2 hours outside of Chicago.
Oh my goodness, right.
Yeah, so but I'm in the suburbs, so I have Bordeaux 5,
right? Yeah.
Guys. Yeah.
Yeah, so
wow,
you're 5.
Good for you. Good for
Thank
you.
I got to drive about 3 hours for Bordeaux 5. So
yeah,
good for you. Wow.
So this was basically the RGB stars was basically 4 hours, about 4 hours just on the one-shot color, and about 12 or 14 hours off the narrowband.
I love it.
Yeah.
This was done with my Edge 8. This was done with the Edge 8 so bin 2 on the mono, and of course in bin 1 on the color. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, if I were to be Simon Cowell for a minute, because that's what I do.
Yep.
The only thing that I would possibly say is just be careful of the red stars.
Okay.
Little halos around the red stars.
Yeah, halos around the red stars.
But other than that, I can't say anything. I mean, the detail, and I was looking at this.
Look at that. Look at those dentils.
I was looking at that. You definitely got in there, and I still say, Eric, this is probably one of your best pictures right now to date.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This looks really, really, really good. I just wish I had the data to kind of do something like that. I just can't get a break. I can't get, things are breaking all over the place.
Man, dude, I tell you, I was grabbing, like 3 hours here, 2 hours there, because it would be like the clouds would just roll in, so I could just grab,
Wow.
whenever I could,
What are your exposure times here?
These are all the narrow band is at 300 seconds.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
And the RGB, I think, for the stars was 2 minutes.
Wow.
Dan?
Yeah, but you're also using the 3 nanometers, right?
Yes, I am using the 3 nanometers.
3 nanometers, really?
These were at the
I thought you might raise your eyebrows at that, Christian.
I'm shocked, really. I'm shocked. I'm impressed, really, because with 3 nanometers, what did you say, 300 seconds? No,
5-minute exposures. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Hey, Dan, can you zoom in just a little bit above the second, the top tadpole, that little globular above the top tadpole, right there. Look at that, right in there.
Yeah,
Eric, you did a magnificent job on this.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
And JPEGs don't do it justice.
All the background extraction, all of that, I actually did everything in APP. Like I said, the only thing I did in PI was I did some SCNR, and I did to get rid of some of the green, and I did noise reduction. Yeah, everything else pretty much.
But you know what's nice about it, Eric, is that the contrast, the levels of the contrast, a lot of that was brought up by the 3 nanometers.
Yeah,
it's just very tastefully done. It's not overly contrasty. The blending of the colors and the attention to the details. What I like is if you notice, like on the tadpoles, right at the head of the tadpoles, it looks like it's backlit. It looks like there's a little bit of a halo, right? Like that little blue halo. It really just brings it right out.
Yeah, I was trying to be really careful with the contrast. Because that was one of the things I was afraid of, because I didn't want to make it too contrast, but I wanted to try to bring out some of that detail as much as I could without really going overboard. So I can get really picky about this stuff.
Well, that's what we do, man.
Yeah.
Is that halo?
The halo? Yeah. I used the UHC, the Beta UHC, the ultra high contrast instead of the this moon and sky glow. So the broadband I use the because I also, because I've got the nebula here, and sometimes that ultra high contrast, even at broadband, helps bring out some of that nebula, the nebulosity out of that nebula. So that's what I ended up doing with the broadband, was I just used that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So just the Beta UHCS.
Hey, Dan, that brings up a good point. You might want to put on the Discord that formula that I put for the halos in that issue that I sent to you today.
Actually, we have an iTelescope picture.
Wow.
We have an iTelescope. Let me download it real quick. We have an iTelescope picture. Somebody, Sean Nielsen, took this.
That's beautiful.
From iTelescope. Here you go. And give you some details on this in a sec. Where is my Facebook Messenger? So this is T20 in New Mexico, 2016.
Yeah, and that's very nice. So that's the refractor, of course. It's T14 and T20 are identical. It's beautiful. They've got good skies. You got beautiful comet. My goodness.
Yeah, they got the comet right next to the helix right here.
That's APOD quality. It's really fantastic. Good.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, Sean, that's awesome.
Congratulations. Very nice.
Yeah, I was taken 6 years ago.
Yeah. I haven't taken anything like that. That's beautiful. Really nice.
That's awesome. Nice job, Sean. Beautiful.
Yeah,
for sure. Who else has got some photos?
All people are using 3 nanometer now.
Yeah,
that's a new thing.
3 nanometers are age now.
And if anybody wants some, I have some.
I'm telling you, I'm getting that S2 from you. I don't care. I'm breaking up the set. I'm getting that S2 from you. You
I
can sell,
know.
hey, HOO for sale here.
I'm gonna sell it to you, right? Because I'm not gonna give it to anybody else. You know that. Just give me an offer and it's yours. But I'll split it. I'll split it up, but I'll only split it for you. So.
$1 million.
At least it's not trading places. The $1.
$1.
Christian, the A-pod that you got for that Comet Leonard, can you post that?
Blake,
you can all take a look at it. That's a beautiful image. Can you?
That was super. I can explain how that was taken. It was Blake. If you want to, I'll share the page. Wait a second. Where are we? Let me just see to share. Okay, let's just share it again. Okay, that's here. Yeah, that was a very nice one. So that's Blake's work. That you'll see that as an A-pod. So that was taken. Gosh, I don't remember what the exposure time was again. I think it was 1/22nd, maybe a little bit too long even. But what is surprising is with this image, I can't expand it here. Wait a bit more. Yes, what is surprising about this image is the details of the comet, right? That we got, and we have pictures where the comet detail can even be seen much more. So what you see here, that's with a 20-inch, and that here was taken with a single shot color camera. That is T69, I think, in New Mexico skies where we took this, and that is a composite. That's a mosaic that we took there.
Wow.
Blake again who did this, and as you can see, the tail is so long you could have taken a third part. Right?
You ain't kidding.
It's just, oh my God! When you see these, you just love comments. It's as an iTelescope member, you can download the RAWs. When you see the RAWs, you'll fall over, right? I mean, when I saw these, I was so shaky I could hardly put the picture together because I thought, this is crazy. It's very rare.
Look at the green on the head. I mean, look at that halo.
I know.
It's just incredible.
It was difficult to get because you have a very short window. That was in Australia, right? And it was, wow. It's just, it's exquisite, really. I think we had one chance to do this on one night. We got it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And we got another image in.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what do we got here. So we got Frank Rossetti sent us one over on our Discord chat. This is from an 8-inch instrument with Hyperstar ASI 533 with Optolong L Pro, 240 15-second shots.
240 15-second shots.
And you'll see why in a second.
Mm-hmm.
With a square sensor.
Yeah, with a square sensor. Yep.
Because I know
he's shooting Hyperstar. It's F19.
That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
And that's why it was 15 seconds.
That's why it's 15 seconds. Heck yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you got 110, you got 32, you got 31, you got nice lanes, you got the nice H regions over here.
Yep.
I mean,
that core is nicely tamed.
Yeah, and you know what I would even tell you? I would tell you to take some like 4 or 5 second shots.
Yeah, I would.
And put that in HDR right on top.
Hubble would have killed himself for an image like that. If you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's amazing what we can do nowadays. I just can't get over it. Of course, that was his favorite, right?
Yeah.
So it's unbelievable what we can do now. So yeah, great.
Yeah, this was Hyperstar, I think, Mark.
Yeah, it's an 8-inch with Hyperstar.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
nice job. Great job, man. And I think that's the last. So Greg said he sent one a couple of days ago. I'm still trying to find it about the rosette, but I haven't seen to find it. Greg, if you got it, send it back to me.
Yeah. But,
for sure. Let's see. That's all we got on Discord right now.
Okay.
We still got about 30 people watching the show. You know?
Great.
Is there any other questions for Dr. Sasse? Come on, membership. This is your time to ask Christian.
Absolutely.
Don't be bashful.
Any crazy ideas? What else do we have? X-ray astronomy? Anything else you want? You know, maybe we could put a few space telescopes up. Seriously, we would.
Yeah. Let's do some iTelescope on the moon.
There you go. I want
No.
iTelescope to take a picture of the flag. That's what I want.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
we get that question all the time.
I know you do.
Greg said you just put it up on Discord. There.
Yeah, I'm downloading it now.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And let me get back on. Where is it? There we go. And we'll share this. This is nice. You're gonna like this.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Oh wow.
Wow. There you go.
I like it. No. Oh my gosh. Can you zoom in on this a little bit, man?
I can.
I mean, just over there to the left. If you go over to your left, just a little lower, right there. All of that, and just a little go up a little higher. Yeah, all that structure, all that cloud structure is just amazing.
So, what are the details here of the?
I will. Let's see. I'll go back to the Discord real quick. And so the Discord. So this is 115 600-second exposures. SHO. 58 hours from a Bortle 9.
From a Bortle 9?
Yep.
Are you kidding me? Really?
Yep.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
58.
My hat off, really.
This is from Long Island with an Esprit 120.
My hat off, really. I mean, well done.
So,
I mean, you tell your neighbor that you can see that from your from your backyard, they won't believe you.
unbelievable. Unbelievable. Great shot, man.
Really?
You know, Dan, zoom in a little bit. I want to look at these Bach globules. Zoom in right there at about the 11 o'clock position. Yeah, right into there. Look at this.
Yeah,
look at
you can see
Bach globules.
Yeah.
Ah, that is a great photo. Look at that structure. You're right.
Yeah.
All this.
You know,
All these
Christian,
little guys.
We got fast cameras, fast optics.
Well, can you just show me again what he had? What did he have signals? I'm just curious at the.
What do you have? What?
The technical details again.
So it's in a Esprit 120, Bortle 9, 58 hours.
Bortle 9?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Bortle 9.
Wow.
Yeah. It was
this is wonderful. I mean, we shouldn't spread this because otherwise they think they can pollute the whole planet, right?
Yeah.
It was the Optolong 3-nanometer filters, the new ones with the QHY 268.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
so even with the
Another 268 user. There you go.
Isn't that amazing?
Okay. So this is all right. And these are the new Optolongs. Wow.
They are the new Optolongs. I can't, there you go. There's the empty box of the new Optolongs. They're in my filter wheel now. I was very, very impressed with them. I gotta say, with the halos in the especially the 03.
Mm-hmm.
There was no halo at all on the TAC. No halo. So really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean just said check your messenger again.
Sean.
Another one.
Sean, you're killing me, Sean.
I guess maybe he sent something else.
Let's see. I hope it's not another X-rated text that we just got before.
Oh yeah, God.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe that went across there.
Yeah.
It's those bots, man. They just, once you get over like 700 or 800 subscribers,
They come.
well, they just, I don't get it. I try and stay on top of it, but in a live show, it's kind of tough to do that. So
It is. Yeah.
Facebook. Okay. Oh, okay, that's nice. Of course, he sent me this one. So this is going to be taken with T12, and I'm going to save this onto the desktop. And let me get rid of this, and I'll share it again, and share that,
I agree with you, Tarek. Bordeaux 9 ain't gonna stop us. It's almost like, badges. I ain't gotta show you no stinking badges. Bordeaux 9. I don't gotta show you no. I don't care about no Bordeaux 9. Oh, shut up. The dragons.
Yep. The Fighting Dragons of Ara.
Oh man.
It's a masterpiece. Yeah.
I love that whole thing. It's
yeah,
unfortunate. It's unfortunate I don't get to see it unless if I fly down south. But
I tell you, Southern Sky Challenge. We'll put it up on iTelescope. We go for it, man.
That's beautiful.
I'm telling you, we're gonna start round 2 of the Southern Sky Challenge. We got to do it. We got to do it.
Absolutely.
So maybe we start that. We'll start promoting that in I don't know, this month, maybe next week.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It's getting late because the Dragons are gonna go away again real soon.
Yeah, we got to grab onto it when we can, man.
Yeah. Can't do the tarantula again. We gotta
have to move away from tarantula. Let's get the dragons. Then maybe we'll go back to Karina or something.
At a Karina, yeah, we're gonna have to do that.
But we got to get the dragons.
But I mean, we're coming up on 2 hours already.
No, this is a great show.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
and is Mark sending us another one? Here's one for you. Okay, is he sending us another one?
Is that Mark? Yeah, I'm not putting any more Mark's pictures up there. Mark, you're bothering me, Mark. There you go. He's got the fish head.
Okay.
Let me download this because it's a little
not the whole heart, just the fish head.
Yeah, he made it one picture. So let me save this first because it's a little small on. Let's see. He's got it on AstroBin. Hold on. Mark's
whatever.
Love you, man. Mark's good people, man.
Yeah, he is. He is.
I'm gonna try and turn off. I don't want the overlay. There we go. Oh man, this is awesome, Mark. This is a great shot. Hold on a second. Let me get this on. Let's see. I gotta just keep this open because. All right, and here we go.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
That's another one.
So Mark, from what I remember, he's in Arizona.
Yep.
Okay.
So
you can see that. You can see that.
Oh yeah, just the detail and the darkness of the sky and the brightness of the nebula. It's just
you can see that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Contrast is crazy.
Yeah. This is all. I love all this data down here.
So what's the details of this image?
And we'll get the tech card up. Okay, so this is a ED152 from Explorer. ASI 2600 on the EQ8R Pro.
Yes.
3 nanometer filters from Antlia. And this is integration 13 hours and 20 minutes, 50 by 300 on pretty much everything. 50 by 5 minutes.
Wow, good. Well done. Excellent.
Yep, well done.
Fantastic.
Yep. Really nice job.
Yeah, that's a great job. That is a great job there, Mark. Congrats, man.
Yeah, you did a good job with the post processing with the curves that you did because I know he's a PixInsight user, and he did really good kind of transition from the blue to the gold and back to the blue.
Yeah,
that's nice. Let's see what the original looked like. Oh wow, that's too bright. Just kidding, Mark.
No, well done. I love the dark nebulae. I love the dark nebula. That's one of my favorite parts of imaging. It's going after the dark nebula and those dark clouds.
Yeah, I can't get dark. I can't get any of the LBN.
I know you can't.
I can't do that. Well, you remember the story when I took the dark shark, right? You remember that story?
Yeah, I remember.
So for those of you that don't, so Eric was doing the dark shark. So I said, let me do the dark shark too. So I said, and listen, what part of the show is me making fun of myself, so it's okay. But so I'm sitting there and I do a lot of narrowband, right? I do a ton of narrowband. I don't do RGB. I don't do it that often, and when I do it, it's very, very few and far between. So I'm sitting there and I set up my sequence, I boom, and I go to bed And my sequence runs without a hitch all night. 7-8 hours of data I got on the Dark Shark Nebula one night. It was beautiful. Woke up the next day. I forgot to change the filters to RGB, and it was still on narrowband. It was good. So I got 8 hours of the Dark Shark and HAS3, S2 and O3, which means completely nothing. I got nothing. And 8 hours of wasted time because I didn't pay attention to when I was doing my sequence. What are you gonna do?
We live and we learn, bud. We live and we learn.
Yeah, well, it takes me a little bit longer than others.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's nice to see how far we've come, with astrophotography. Can you imagine? Because to your point, Christian, you look at what we can do in our backyards now compared to even just a few years ago.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It really, really is.
Let's think about Edwin Hubble. If he could be here now with the technology we have,
dude,
can you imagine?
Edwin Hubble. How about Galileo?
No. Think about Edwin Hubble being at the telescope, having to be up there in the wintertime in the telescope.
That's what he did.
We're lucky to be, as Christian says, we can operate a telescope remotely from our home here in the States, and we can remotely operate a telescope in Chile or Australia.
Yeah.
It would be amazing if we could actually see what Edwin Hubble would look at with today's technology.
And the guy was amazing because he would sit there the whole night guiding. I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah,
we can't know who of us would do such a thing. It's just unbelievable, right?
To guide by hand.
Yeah, by hand.
It's
just dedication.
And with photographic plates that have so little sensitivity, it's just crazy,
That's the man.
Unreal. Yeah.
Yep.
But.
Well, let's see. Membership. Is there any other questions that you have for Dr. Sasse?
Let's see. No, we got a bunch of great shots. Thank you so much. Really nice. Nice to see how far we've come.
Yeah, we got a lot of nice pictures. Thanks, everyone. Really beautiful.
Yeah, unbelievable. Oh my God, Sean. Sean, why don't you just come on the show, Sean?
Showing more of his iTelescope work.
Yeah, let's see. What did he do? I'm in Messenger now, so I it's tough because I'm doing Messenger, Discord, email, and trying to. And so if I'm not paying attention or I'm not talking, it's not because I'm not interested, because I'm losing my mind on social media. Let's see. So let me get on Messenger again, and Sean messaged me. Yeah, thanks, Sean.
But I tell you, with iTelescope and be able to Dean's point, to be able to observe, and grab these images, grab these objects from thousands of miles away. I mean, that's a credit to you guys and your company, to be able to bring that opportunity to the masses like you are doing. So thank you. Really appreciate that.
Thanks a lot, and we're very grateful to all our members who support us because we have so many enthusiasts out there, and they're in situations similar to you. They got terrible Bortle skies, and also it's I teach a lot of astrophotography too, especially to beginners, and what I find out is that 90% of people who ever buy telescope equipment never use it after the first time again. You won't believe
that's crazy.
If we went through the garages of everyone and collected, you don't believe what is stored there. It's just unbelievable, right? Because people just say, I don't want to do this. It's too much. And I mean, it's all the hardcore guys like you who carry on, but it's tough. It takes a lot of discipline and dedication, and that's where we come in and we help them.
So no, and to your credit, like you were saying, to decide on whatever membership plan for as low as $20, to be able to do this and to get these opportunities, so you don't have to necessarily purchase all this equipment. Yep. It's right here for you, and you can take these observations and and learn processing, all that stuff. Then when you're ready to do, maybe get your own rig and your own setup, you can go ahead and do that.
Exactly. So you can decide what you want, and that's Yeah, that's the new thing that we now offer these opportunities, and we're very glad we can do that. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, the tarantula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is taken with another iTelescope scope, T33.
Oh yeah, that's fairly new on the T33. Yeah. So yeah, that's the one I show. That's one of the free telescopes. Actually, you can see the quality that you can get.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah. It's awesome.
Did he say how long was this session? Did he mention how long this session was? I'd be curious.
I could go check it out and see. Let's see what he put on. If there's anything there.
Jerry.
No, it's just the 16-inch astrograph. It doesn't say how long.
Okay, just curious.
So
no biggie.
Hey, got a quick question. Can you pull that image back up again? Because I got to ask this for the collective.
What, the tarantula?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is the tarantula the home for the humongous nebula, which basically, AKA the Eta Canari?
No.
No.
Okay. No. It's not that far away.
That's completely different.
Yeah, they're completely different.
The tarantula's in the Magellan Cloud, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the one.
Yes. It's in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's incredible. If you think of it,
are you serious, Sean? That's only 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The tarantula is one of the most astounding nebulas because I mean it's 160,000 light years, if I remember, something like that far. And if you put it right next to Orion, I think we'd have 50 degrees of the whole sky lit up, and it would cast shadows. It's insanely bright. It makes the Orion Nebula look like
it really does.
It's crazy. It's I can't even imagine what that must be like.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's out of control.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to do a shout out to Jerry Valdez. Jerry, good to see you, and glad to see that you're a member on the show.
40 minutes, man. That's really impressive.
Unbelievable.
But I guess that's also, that also goes to show when you have the opportunity to use these scopes in these Bortle 1 skies, you don't need a lot of time, I guess. You don't need a lot of time.
No.
Yeah, you need a lot less, man, because you could expose for days and it's going to be awesome.
That's it.
It's going to be awesome.
That's right.
Yeah, I would need probably like about 30 or 40 hours from my skies if I were able to see it to get that kind of signal.
Yeah.
But,
you are totally right there, man.
Because I'd be stuck at 5-minute shots, something like that. But my skies are just so. I mean, I think I'm at last time I checked, I'm at a 17.8 on the sky quality.
Mm-hmm.
So on the sky brightness, it's horrible. I mean, it's just I this right at sunset. I just tested it. I was at a 16.8. So right at sunset, and then now it's fully dark. I'm at about a 17.8 at total darkness.
Holy cow, that's hot.
It's horrible.
That's horrible.
It's horrible.
Hey, you sound like Donald Trump.
Yeah,
that's horrible.
It's horrible.
We're gonna make this look beautiful. It's gonna be the best thing you ever saw. I'm telling you. It's gonna be better than anything anybody ever did anywhere.
Politics. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go.
I'm not going there.
I think it's time for me to leave because
I am not going there. But hey, but Christian, Sean from Visible Dark just mentioned he's going to sign up with iTelescope again. So he said it was a lot of fun doing this. So he's going to sign back up and subscribe back up again.
Yeah,
actually, what he said there to help. Thank you.
Actually, what he said earlier is actually his subscription is still open. He's got 51 credits in the bank. So,
and now the credits will go a lot longer than they ever did. Okay, so that's for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I listen. I love the platform. I love the opportunity that you give to everybody. Does anyone know where the light switch is located for Long Island? No, no, I don't. I don't. And then this is coming from a guy in like Bortle 3 skies. I mean, be quiet, Mark. but it's really an awesome platform. And for those of you that are new to the show or don't know what iTelescope is, go check it out at iTelescope, and you'll see 20, 30 telescopes that are available to you to kind of pick and choose what you want, and it doesn't matter. Northern hemisphere for Southerners, Southern hemisphere for Northerners. It's got them all over the world. So it's really a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to get some really cool data on premium telescopes and premium equipment. It's really awesome.
Christian, any final thoughts you'd like to provide?
Sorry?
Any thoughts that you'd like to provide in closing?
Well, you know, from my telescope, we are really excited to be able to offer this to the community. I can't tell you, I mean, I've had so many jobs in my life, you know, really hard jobs too, with utilities and doing high voltage equipment and so on. But to work in the Astro community is the biggest, the most beautiful thing you can ever do. That's all I have to say. I want to say thank you to everyone, and really, we're a wonderful community.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Anybody else want to say anything in closing? It sounds like we're at 2 hours and 5 minutes already, and we're super fast.
We're good.
Just to kind of reiterate what Christian says is that look at this community right here. I mean, there's just 5 of us right here. What is the one common denominator that's brought us together? It's our love of looking at photographs, and we all love looking at these photographs. It really is a challenge, and I think maybe that's kind of what it is that I like about this, is that if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. I know the fact that sometimes things don't work, but it's that challenge of playing detective and saying, okay, what is it that I've got to do to make this thing work? And once you get it done, but as you said, it is the challenge. It's what really kind of makes it all that much better to kind of get together as a community and just provide all this information.
Yeah.
And I want to thank Christian for being a guest. Thank you, Christian.
Thank you especially to Dan to give the opportunity, and also Peter. Very nice to meet you, Eric, and also Scott. Thanks to everyone, and thanks for the opportunity. And well, I can't say clear skies. I can say high bottle skies and lots of success. You know, just
no, thank you so much, Dr. And don't hang up right away, because I got to talk to you offline about some stuff I got from somebody in the chat that wants me to relay a message.
That's fine. Of course.
Okay. But yeah, everybody, don't forget. So I got to say the one thing: this Friday's show, we're gonna be dark, I think, because I'm driving the mother-in-law back to DC.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna be around to host the show. So Friday, we take the weekend off, enjoy the Super Bowl weekend. And I know Eric's a big football watcher. I don't know about anybody else, but you know, go hang out with the fam, enjoy the food and dogs and all that kind of stuff. And then so that gives us another couple of days for the raffle. Now I know I said we were going to do the raffle on Friday, the 11th. So we're going to do it Wednesday, the following Wednesday. So it'll be the 16th. So we're going to do the raffle on the 16th. So that gives it an extra week from tonight. So if you want your raffle thing, $5 chance for your Player One planetary camera, slightly used. It is open, but slightly used. Just $5, get a chance. You can buy up to 10 chances. Right now we have 50 chances sold. So that covers the cost of the camera. Thank you so much for supporting AstroWorld. And all that money goes to the next raffle. So whatever we get, maybe we'll throw Eric's S2 and Leah filter on there for the next one. But yeah, so you got another week now. So get your chances now, and don't forget we got a whole bunch of guests coming up in the future. And thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate all the support. Thank you so much.
Shameless plug for Astro with Eric. New stuff is coming.
New stuff is coming.
New content is coming.
Yeah, everybody's been waiting for content for Astro with Eric. It's been a while.
Yeah. So now I have an excuse.
Yeah. My next video will be the installation of this bad boy.
Oh yeah, the heater ring.
The heater ring from Celestron.
Yeah, that's the you can see the filament on that.
Oh yeah, yep.
That's not a heater ring. That's a hula hoop.
Yeah, it's a big one.
That's a
but
big one.
This should be fun to put on that 14. I've got to actually mount the scope and get it upright.
Scott. Yeah, I was gonna say, make sure you got the scope tilted upwards when you do that, please.
Yeah, when you do that.
Yeah. because it's got quite a few screws, you know, and you got to get it just right. So
You gotta do it.
My next video on Astro Playground will be putting this together. So
yeah,
I saw somebody had a
it'll be
joke.
fun.
Somebody had a joke about the raffle. He's like, "Too bad now I can't win it and give it to my wife for Valentine's Day." Oh my goodness! So I'll do a blast. I'll do a blast on that on the raffle. But again, thank you, Dr. Sasse. Appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right, sounds like my throat's going. It's getting so bad. All right, everybody, have a good night. And hang on for the after show. And guys, girls, remember, as always, keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we'll see you next Wednesday on AstroWorld. Have a good night, everybody.
Clear skies, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. And all right, the recording's going on next. And